Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Day by Day. I decided to start here for tonight because I got something to talk about, and I didn't want to. And I usually do the talking up front, and then I'm like, I've talked it out, and so it's like it doesn't really hit as hard in the by the time I get to this video because I've already spent the bullets in the previous video. So I decided to start here today. Today is April 10th, but we're doing the refresh for the 9th. Because it's 1:17 in the morning. I've already taken my shower, so it is what it is. Anyway, thanks for being here. Like I said, I have had some perspective flung at me, and it's been stuff that I've been looking for, and I think that I don't know that I maybe it's out there and I've just not seen it. But I have looked for people giving advice about what early game or mid game or whatever free to play low spenders whatever should do in preparation for the raid. And all I'm finding is a bunch of people with a bunch of GLs that are like 10, 11, 12, 13 million GP talking. And they try, bless their hearts, but they can't really relate to the early gamers, the mid gamers, because they're not mid gamers and they're not early gamers. And, there has been a stigma for a long time that up until you get to 4 million GP, you're an early gamer. I think that's wrong. Why do I say that? Because you're looking at me, I'm 4.57 GP. I still consider myself an early gamer. And I don't intend to move to mid game for a while. Why do I say that? Because on this account, I'm still doing easy conquest. I'm not doing normal conquest or hard conquest. I'm doing easy conquest. Why am I doing easy conquest, you ask? Well, if you haven't noticed, I don't tend to have a lot of very high relic characters across my account. I have Executor. That's it. Those are the only characters I have what I would consider high relics. And you see it. You see my. You don't see all of my. No, do you? Yeah. So you see my CLS. That's Relic 3. My entire CLS team, Relic 3. You see my entire Night Sister team at Relic 3. You see Revan, Dark Bastila, Cad Bane, Padme, Captain Rex, and then Sith that are all Relic 1. Then you come down here and you see the rest of my Executor fleet. You see Wampa, you see Relic 1 Treya, you see Relic 3 Newt, you see my Shadows of the Empire buy, you see my Old Republic buy, you see Tuskens that I bought, you see the Princesses that I bought, you see the Hoth bundle that I bought, and Shadows of the Empire that I bought. And then the only other things you're seeing is just Relic 1s or Gear 13 in Kyle Katarn's. So, outside of Executor, I would argue that I don't have anything that would make me near a mid-gamer because I have a bunch of teams at low relics. Why do I have a bunch of teams at low relics? Well, if you're new and you don't know, it's because I'm a big believer in assault battles and conquest. Now, I can tell you, so you're like, well, why did you go get CLS? Assault battle and conquest. Why did I go get Night Sisters? Assault battle and conquest. What about the Phoenix? Assault battles and conquest. What about the Sith you're building right now? Assault battles and conquest. The bounty hunters. Assault battles and conquest. The Wampa, the Hoth pack, for eventually Jyn and Luke, for assault battles and conquest. Then you see Nisa. I'm not gonna lie, she's for Leia. Okay, I'm not too Leia. I bought the Old Republic for assault battles and conquest, so I can buy that. So I can build that Sith Empire team. The Tuscans are, I guess, to help out a little bit in conquest, and there's something that I was like, oh, that's cool. Everything else, so everything is built around. For me, is built around conquest and assault battles. Everything. And what I'm doing now, currently, is I'm working on Finnick for an assault battle team. Mon Mothma for an assault battle team. Cyan is for the Sith assault battle team. And then we get to Paz, Bo-Katan, Halloween costume Grogu, and Kelron, of course, who are for, let's be fair, they're for Mandalore, for Kairos. They're to make my life easier. So essentially, another assault battle, basically. And then we have the Poncho Bros for assault battle. We have Malik for an assault battle. Dash is for Starkiller eventually. Shakti is for maybe gas. Maybe the new raid, the Order 66 raid. Other than that, I've heard that that Shakti 501st is pretty good. But that's who was behind my face. There she is, right there, by the way. Scout Trooper for Leia. Halloween costume Grogu. I'm a Mandalore. But what I'm seeing is all of these people that are giving raid advice, at least all the people that I've seen, they've all got all this stuff. They've got all this stuff. And they're like, you shouldn't change your farm. You should keep working on whatever. And it's like, but I'm going to have to farm something eventually, right? Because if I don't farm something else eventually, I'm not going to get raid rewards. And you're right. And I'm gambling, and I've talked through this more than a few times. I'm gambling that, all these Jedi Vanguard are going to be in the raid, and if they're not, at least they're going to put me in directions where they put me that much closer to whatever GL they're linked to. With, of course, the exception of Barris. Well, actually, we need Barris right for what's her face now, right? For Ahsoka, is that right? I feel like that's right. You're probably yelling at me. Yes, that's right. I'm not sure. I just want to check. Yeah, we're like 5 Barris off. Yeah, so Barris. So it's like, I'm going to East Coast, you know. But ultimately, ultimately what I'm working for and working towards, there's still something there. I'm not doing it for, you know, whatever reason. I'm doing it because, you know, I think there's importance to it right now. And even if I'm wrong, it's still going to help me get in the general direction that I need to go eventually. But it's very hard for me to sit and listen to people that have everything. You know, Fat Phil's like, I've got everything. I've got thousands of Kairos lying around because of XYZ, and it's like, bro, why are you talking to me? And Rabbit Beaver is basically right there too, and so is Ignorance. And it's like, there's nobody talking. And so I'm going to be the voice for early and mid gamers. I'm going to tell you that if you think you need to go farm something, then do it. But just realize that with everything else, there's a cost and a benefit that may or may not be there. If you want to go for the Alpo troopers, if you want to go for the Dark Side troopers, go for the Dark Side troopers. If you want to go for the new Bad Batch, go for the new Bad Batch. If you want to do JV like me, do JV. If you want to wait and see, wait and see. If you don't want to do any of that, don't do any of it. Because if you go for JV, like me, then there's obviously risk. There are things that are already out that we know are going to be part of the raid. The new Bad Batch is the most accessible, and there's only 2 of them that are accessible right now. And it's Fugitive, Omega, and Badger. We're still waiting for the other 3, but you can at least get started on them. And those are the only people that are available that we actually know are going to be in the raid. Even though we know that these Dark Side troopers are, we know that Jocasta knew Master Mace, Dippa, and Jedi Temple Guard are going to be there. That's it. That's all we know. And Tarkin. Grandmaster Tarkin. Grand Moff Tarkin. That's all we know. So anything else is a gamble. So you can gamble like I'm gambling. You can do bad match. You can wait for the Dark Side Troopers. Or you can just play the game like me. That being said, I talked about the threat for 15 minutes. We've done nothing. All I'm going to do for the rest of the time is what I normally do, as quickly as I can. Not that that's going to be fast at all. But that's something I just wanted to say up front. Because I felt like nobody was saying it. And I felt like it needed to be said. Now, you know, it could literally be anything that anybody has said And it could literally be nothing. Because the new Bad Batch don't make sense lore-wise. Just like the Separatists fighting against their own Separatist army makes no sense in this raid, in this Naboo raid. So, if you're gonna gamble, pick a path and jump in. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. But you can't wait on the sideline. Or you can, and you could just wait and see, and that's perfectly viable. Or you can just ignore the whole thing and just wait until your guild says, hey, we need you to go get a raid team. At that point, you can make the decision, well, which team is the most accessible and which team makes the most sense to me. That's probably the safest way to go. Anyway, I'm just doing my thing, and I'm going to keep doing it. Tomorrow's going to be the last set of videos I do before I go for my weekend with my wife. And then I'll see you on the other side of that weekend. It's only 2 days. So, you won't notice interruption because I'll just be like, hey. I'll see you, and then it'll be like, hey, we're back. Welcome back. But anyway, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate all of you. As always, God bless. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know what to do. Otherwise, hold the line, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.